You haven't answered my question about why Hule was imprisoned in the Lafu instead of the Yaoqing, General. You've been reserved in your response. Could it be that such an arrangement wasn't an honor?
The reason why the Marshal didn't leave Hule on the Yaoqing lies in the very mech in front of us.
Are you suggesting that there are people trying to understand Hule's secrets and use them for their own purposes? Just like with this mech? Well, I understand. I've heard that the Foxians on the Yaoqing share a bloodline with the Borisin. And just like the Borisin, some of the Foxians there experience an uncontrollable insanity called moon rage. The Marshal believed that this would be inhumane and no different from what the Borisin did, so...
Exactly. While Borisin see moon rage as a blessing that unlocks their true potential, Foxians see it as an inevitable curse within their bloodline. Countless healers of the Yaoqing have attempted to unravel this mystery, but to no avail. Why can Borisin control the power of moon rage? Can we Foxians break free from this curse? These questions were asked frequently. Each questioner had good intentions. But the road to catastrophe is paved with good intentions. To the Foxians of the Yaoqing, Hule was not only the warhead of the Borisin, but also a monster that could be the subject of much research. Hule thus became a poison that corrupted people's minds without their knowing.
That's why the Marshal decided to imprison Hule and the Lafu. It wasn't an honor, but rather a warning.
Because such selfish pursuits in the name of good intentions once led to a tragedy on the Lafu that served as a warning to future generations.
The sedition of Imbibitor Lunae. By imprisoning Hule and the Xianzhou Lafu, the Marshal both suppressed the dangerous intentions of the Yaoqing Foxians and warned the Xianzhou Lafu to refrain from repeating its mistake.
That was a necessary trade-off. The Xianzhou alliance is not solely about the Xianzhou natives. Only when all three races, Foxian, Vidyadhara, and Xianzhou natives, form an alliance, will there be a promising future for all.
Thank you for enlightening me. Was it for the same reason that you traded off my mentor to the Xianzhou Zhuming, only to stand idle and allow the resurgence of the disciples of Sanctus Medicus?
You said that I couldn't bear to cut out the malignant tumor within the Alchemy Commission, but instead exiled the healer who tried to solve the problem to the Xianzhou Zhuming. But did your mentor tell you her good intentions led her to perform certain healing arts on Dan Heng, who had just finished his hatching rebirth, so that he would regain the memories of his past life?
What did you just say?
She believed that restoring the High Elder's knowledge of his past life would allow the Vidyadhara to resume their duty as the guardians of the Ambrosial Arbor, quelling the strife within their clan and bringing everything. But just as I mentioned earlier, the road to catastrophe is always paved with good intentions. Since then, the 6 charioteers decided that the Alchemy Commission would no longer have a cauldron master. Until your arrival now.
If that's the case, I should thank you for protecting my mentor by exiling her.
Quite the contrary. I should be the one thanking you.
Thanking me?
All I ever want is to have a clear conscience. However, can long-life species truly achieve that goal in their long-drawn lives? For example, you were implicated along with your mentor and forced to leave your homeland without knowing the truth. And now, with the complicated situation in the Alchemy Commission, the Alliance has spared me a lot of trouble by sending you to handle this challenging task. Shouldn't I be thanking you instead?
Your eloquence is indeed impressive, the divine foresight. You won't even leave me any excuses to hold a grudge against you. But let me make it clear. The Alliance sent me here to handle the business impartially, not to choose sides.
It doesn't matter which side you choose, Miss Lingshaw. At the end of the day, both you and I stand on the side of the Alliance, don't we? Let's keep going.
These Mara-struck soldiers don't appear to be escaped prisoners.
How can you tell?
These soldiers are fully armed. Obviously, they didn't hastily join the battle.
The messenger named Morza did say that there were two groups of attackers. The other attackers, aside from the Borison, could hide their tracks. I believe he was referring to these people.
Hide their tracks?
Exactly. I've engaged with these attackers before, and they used Cloud Hymn magic to hide their presence. Without careful observation, no one can detect them.
You once warned me to be cautious of the Vidyadhara Elder's influence within the Alchemy Commission. Could it be?
What's on your mind, Miss Lingshaw?
Well, it seems that someone provided the attackers with a map of the shackling prison. And considering the Vidyadhara's involvement in the prison's construction, it raises suspicion about their role in this. Additionally, the fact that the Borison need medicine to disguise themselves would suggest that there are still moles within the Alchemy Commission assisting them covertly. Moreover, forging official identities for the undercover Borison would require someone with significant authority. And the presence of assassins capable of using Cloud Hymn magic deepens my suspicion about the Preceptors. But why would the Vidyadhara collude with the Borison and aid in Hulei's escape?
They aim to spread chaos. They believe that only in chaos can they regain their former power and influence. Since the sedition of Imbibe de Lune, the once proud dragon race has been powerless, watching their influence wane. Being a native of the Luofu, Miss Lingsha, I believe you understand the implications.
However, I don't think the Preceptors are the true masterminds. If I'm not mistaken, the one behind all this treachery is the Lord Ravager who exploited the weaknesses within the Luofu and instigated the disciples of Sanctus Medicus, ultimately leading to the Ambrosial Arbor's resurrection. Fentilia.
Please remember, General, that everything I've mentioned is mere speculation. We need concrete evidence for a public trial. If you want to interrogate someone within the Vidyadhara's ranks, you'll need irrefutable proof.
So, what's your plan, Miss Lingshaw?
I'll send an invitation to the Preceptors.
An invitation?
The Preceptors have been inviting me for a personal meeting since my arrival on the Luofu. Now, I'll send them the remains of these Mara-struck soldiers and the route map I found in the prisoner's possession. Then, I'll ask them to meet me at Scale Gorge Waterscape. I'd like to hear their explanations.
Good idea. If I were to take action, it might alert the true mastermind. I trust you to handle this matter, Miss Lingshaw. The internal affairs of the Vidyadhara should remain under their jurisdiction. And don't worry if things don't go smoothly. Once the wolf hunt operation is over, the hidden truths will come to light.
Speaking of the wolf hunt operation, I'm truly worried about the Yaoqing messenger who was taken hostage. Hulei was starving in the shackling prison for centuries. I don't know if the messenger can survive in that wolf's clutches. May Rainbow's blessing keep him safe.
As I said, I'm a healer. But my art of healing requires the culinary arts to be truly effective. The magic of my cauldron is its ability to make all kinds of medicines into dishes that patients can eat. When simmered and cooked together, any kind of medicinal herb or ingredient becomes a delightful delicacy.
Delicacy. But isn't that just one flavor overpowering the others?
Well, you have a point. Let me ask you this. If there's a fussy child who refuses to eat green peppers, what's the best way to make him eat them?
Stuff the kid's mouth with the green peppers and cook him alive in a pot.
You have quite the sense of humor. I've heard that you, Borisin, have lost many of your taste buds during the self-modification process, so you can't experience complex flavors. Only the saltiness of blood and flesh truly awakens your appetite.
It's a shame I don't have any green peppers right now. Otherwise, I'd happily stuff them into your mouth and cook you alive in a pot.
I'm just kidding. The answer is quite simple. Chop up the peppers and mix them with minced meat to make meatballs. This way, the flavor of the meat overpowers the taste of the peppers. And even a fussy child can enjoy them.
Can I just boil your tongue in this hot pot? I know you're trying to buy time until someone comes to your rescue. You said that Jin Liu recently returned to the Lafu, right? Well, she did come back. But, unfortunately, I also found out that she committed serious crimes and was escorted to another Xianzhou ship. Do you really think you can delay our departure by provoking Lord Hulei's desire for revenge with your clever little tongue? You see Borisin as savages who know nothing about the Xianzhou. But in fact, we know all about your tracking tricks. Like the jade abacus you're carrying, and the side cranes in the sky. The more hope you hold in your heart, the greater your pain will be when death comes. I wonder if you can maintain your composure when I tear your throat open.
His composure is only a temporary effect of the medicine. And it will wear off soon, right?
Lord Hulei!
Oh, you pathetic Foxians. For thousands of years, we were the ones who allowed you to live, and who granted you civilization. But in the end, you chose to betray us for the freedom promised by the Xianzhou people. But it's all right. As long as you catch the scent of your masters, you obediently return to us, no matter how far you run away.
Hulei. Have you ever wondered why it took them 7 centuries to come to your rescue? The Borisin's era has long passed. Did they ever tell you these harsh facts before giving you hope for returning home? Lord Hulei, now they're being crushed by the Merlin's claw of the Yaoqing, by a Foxian. They're hiding in remote corners of the cosmos, trembling with fear like a wounded beast on its last legs, reaching out desperately for any fake hope of salvation, which in this case is you.
The Merlin's claw of the Yaoqing. A Foxian? Very interesting. Tell me, Mock Talk, is he speaking the truth?